podcast about music, pop culture, movies, and more, with your hosts, Wayne Bledsoe and Chuck Campbell.
Howdy, y'all. This is Chuck Campbell with
Wayne Bledsoe.
And
I'm John Baker.
all right, this topic this week, this is something Wayne and I have talked about a couple of times just in passing, and it wasn't anything we really landed on. And John, you brought it up last week for this week, didn't you?
I'm told that I did.
And then promptly forgot.
Yeah. Normally you all text me in the morning or the day before or something. Here's our topic.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
You know,
This was last week because of you brought it up.
I know.
Yeah, you brought it up like 4
Well,
days ago, and Wayne and I were both like, yeah, that's a good topic. We can do that.
I was thrust into a role I was uncomfortable with.
Okay, well.
I'm just a follower.
We'll try
All
to
right.
take it easy on you then. But so this week's topic is about drugs and alcohol in music, and it's a long time, history of songs about drugs, songs about alcohol, and in all genres. And they really run the gamut of emotions. And when I started coming up with songs and examples, it was like, wow, these are really disparate songs that are hard to reconcile because, you've got everything from the funnest of fun, playful songs to really, really dark songs. So maybe we can do some kind of disclaimer or something to get us from one side to the other.
Some disclaimer.
Well, I mean, it's like
it's a liability waiver, really.
yeah, it's a liability waiver. So yes, of course, people have been drinking, smoking weed for a long time with positive results. It relieves stress. It lowers your inhibitions. You can have more fun with your friends or whatever. Maybe, tell someone you have a crush on that you like them and all that. So we're not going to just do a blanket condemnation of drugs and alcohol by any means. No. But at the same time, I think many or most of us have had someone at least once in our lives who's in our inner circle who's had a problem with drug abuse or alcohol abuse, and people definitely do get hurt. And so on a serious, what are you looking at, Wade?
Nothing. I'm just thinking about it.
I'm just saying, we know that this is also a very upsetting issue for some people.
Potentially very dark.
Potentially very dark, and there are very dark songs about it. So when we're talking about, happy, fun songs, I mean, we got the whole range of types of songs that have been addressed by music. And, and I don't like for people to tell me what to do, and I don't like to tell people what to do. So all I can say is be realistic about what you're going to imbibe in, what it can do for you. I don't know how to explain that, but, don't just be responsible. And don't plan a night where anyone's going to get hurt or killed or anything like that. and don't over-romanticize it either. It's like if your life's bummed out, a little weed or a little alcohol or whatever might relax you and distract you from it. But if you got big problems in your life, it definitely won't fix it. So if you got a problem, seek somebody out, either a friend or a loved one or a professional who can help you deal with your issues. And
I think you just summed up all the issues that,
All
songs
right.
talk
Wow,
about drugs.
all right.
It's been a short podcast.
I'm done. And thank you, everybody. No, okay. So should we start with more upbeat songs, or do you have a?
Well, I tried to go with the upbeat beside the depressed, sad ones, and what I found as much as anything was there's so many just in the middle.
Yeah.
I mean, even Heroin, a song by the Velvet Underground, Lou Reed.
Right.
It's not really making any kind of judgment on whether it's the guy who's hooked on heroin is good or bad or whatever. He just says, heroin, it's my life and it's my wife. And he describes what it feels like.
I found there are many just matter-of-fact songs, too, that aren't really celebrating it, but they're not condemning it, and it's just sort of there.
Yeah.
It's just something that is.
Yeah, but on that same drug, on that same topic, my favorite song about heroin is the Flamin' Groovies, which they have a song called Slow Death that has one of my favorite.
You're laughing, okay?
Well, it's just
it's got one song.
It's got one of my favorite lines. he goes to his doctor, he goes to the preacher, and they all say, There's nothing that I can prescribe to keep your raunchy bag of bones alive. I got them some money left for one more shot. She said, go kill yourself. I said, thanks a lot. It's like,
so dark humor.
It's very dark humor, but I mean, the singer was actually addicted to heroin and finally got off of it.
Wow.
But it talks about,
I didn't find many playful songs about heroin. I'll say that much. I mean, most of those are...
You're looking in the wrong places, Chuck.
Most of those are drinking and weed. Those are your fun topics mainly in this category.
Psychedelics sometimes are fun.
Psychedelics, yeah.
Well,
I think so.
Like the Velvet Underground, they've got at least 3 songs about heroin, including heroin and Waiting for My Man and Sister Ray. And if I thought about it long enough, we'd probably
find more.
Many more. But, I mean, that's one of those that generally the songs about it are terrible and sad, like Sam Stone. There's a hole in Daddy's arm where all the money goes, and Jesus Christ died for nothing, I suppose.
And on an upbeat note, I think we'll start out with fun songs.
Okay, go with the upbeat ones.
That's where we're
with the upbeat ones.
I just want to say, I was saying that these songs have been, popular from the beginning of time or whatever, all the way up to last year. Shabuzi had the Tipsy song. Someone passed me a double shot of whiskey. Everybody at the bar is getting tipsy. So, and that was nominated for Grammy Awards. And just last year, he was nominated for Best New Artist and all that. So some of these songs are, high up in the ranks of credibility, and some of them are just trashy songs. A trashy song I'll bring up, Jessica and Hunter. They're like a comedy duo. And you're looking at each other. You're not going to know these people. You're not going to know them, Jessica and Hunter. But and they have a guy named Markaholic who writes the song and he does the music, and it's kind of a dance song. But it's like the two of them, Jessica and Hunter, are going back and forth about all the drinks that they can drink, and they're trying to scam their way through everything. And I think one of them finds random pills, and the other one, Jessica, goes ew and all that. But anyway, the chorus is like a call and response, and Markaholic goes, "What's your favorite drink? What's your favorite drink?" And they go, "My favorite drink is alcohol. My favorite drink is alcohol." So you're writing furiously. What's going on there?
Oh, you just made me think of a song. This is what I do all the time. You should be used to this.
Yeah.
I just thought of the Two-Man Gentleman Band song, Prescription Drugs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the drugs. Yeah. Have you ever, taking a break from that, have you ever, I've seen pills laying on the ground all the time, and I always think, I wonder what would happen if I took that. And I know people.
I never think that.
I know people who would pick it up and take it, but
really?
I wonder if that's just someone's blood pressure medicine or something like that. And there's a couple of times I've looked them up, to see, because they always have like the little numbers and letters on them, and it's never been anything that
it would be recreational.
That would be recreational.
Recreational laxative.
Well, this song is just about everybody bringing prescription drugs from their families, medicine cabinets, and everybody just taking them, and it's like we're having a party, going to get our stomachs pumped.
You can make like a big smoothie, maybe with gin or vodka or something.
That would definitely enhance most of them.
Yeah, maybe, or it could be I don't know, like a big Jonestown Massacre type thing.
Yeah, really. Well, that song is very tongue in cheek, but it's played for laughs because, of course, nobody is going to do that. Hopefully,
right?
But it's a lot of fun.
Throw random handfuls of pills in a bowl and mix them all up.
Yeah.
Everybody grabs them.
Well, part of the song is they're
trick or treat.
All the ones they're mixing. I got some from my grandpa that makes my grandma scream.
Well, I was looking at a study, and we weren't quite sure about some of the results of that study, but we agreed that the top one had said that, how often different genres of music address drugs and alcohol. And by far the top genre for this was country music. And you said, oh, yeah, it's all the drinking and everything. Yeah. Do you have a...
Well, gosh, you think about just all the songs written about moonshine. Oh. White Lightning, which is written by the Big Bopper, and George Jones had one of his first hits with it.
Really?
Yeah, and it's just a great song about, my dad makes this moonshine, and it's terrific.
And he hiccups in it.
Yeah, he hiccups in it. But you've got that. You've got, it goes all the way back to, things in the 20s. There's I can't think of the name of the song. There's a song about giving up drinking. Goodbye Booze. Yeah, it's called Goodbye Booze. It's Goodbye Booze.
Who's that by?
It's by Gid Tanner and the Skillet Lickers.
Oh my God! I don't know where you. Sometimes I wonder if you're just making up.
Oh yeah, I'm just making that.
And you could do that, and I would have no idea.
No, but
like, oh, wow.
it's Goodbye Booze. We've had a good time drinking booze and drinking wine. It's Goodbye Booze. Farewell, I say. Something I can't remember the last rhyme in it, but anyway, it's just this happy song about giving up booze. But obviously, he's going to go back to it.
I was really impressed the way you sang that, especially the word wine. You put a little flip on that.
Oh, there's wine.
Are you drinking a little bit? Or
No,
something?
I actually just have Dr. Pepper right now.
Okay. Yeah, I got sparkling
Liquid
water.
death.
Yeah, liquid death.
But it's country music and rhythm and blues music shared a lot of the same songs. They were all listening to each
Right.
other. It was just they were separated by the color barrier. But you had Sticks McGee here, who was from Knoxville, who was Brownie McGee's brother, but he had the song "Drinking Wine Spody Odie." And he's goes through all the list of all the different wines and how much fun it is to drink that wine. And I mean, wine is wine and beer. Son of a Gandolier is like, that's got to be from the early 1800s. It just talks about how good guys drink their
We're
beer.
losing Wayne. He's going further.
I'm going further. Well, let me
Tell us about the caveman and what they drank.
Well, let me tell you my favorite one that's been going through my head all day long
Okay.
because we brought up this subject. It's from the 40s. It's Harry the Hipster Gibson with Who Put the Benzodrine in Mrs. Murphy's Ovaltine. It's a great song, and it's just, talks about how she's doing everything, at double speed.
Was that a
dosed with
single?
speed.
I mean, was it like?
Yeah, it was a single. It was a kind of a novelty song from the 40s.
Well, I just feel so mundane and trash, but it's just like I was thinking, Fergie's song from 2006, London Bridge. It's but it just seems so mundane to bring up somebody who's like still alive.
Well, no,
But what I like about her song, I'll
Go
go
ahead
ahead and seize this topic away from you.
Seize
for a
the
second.
moment.
Yeah. What I like about this song is it's got this horn kind of instrumentation, London Bridge by Fergie, and she's basically kind of shouting. It's got this kind of swaggering rhythm, and like the horns that are just like, I think it's, what was it, Transporter? The movie Transporter?
Yeah, Transporter.
I think that it's from a fight scene from Transporter.
Oh, my
I
gosh.
think that they sampled it or something. Anyway, the whole idea is if if you dance to this song, you're going to look like you're drunk. I mean, if you're dancing along to the rhythm, you're going to look like you're drunk. And Fergie seizes a moment, and she's doing the VIP because she's got to shine and all that stuff. But the best part is she's like kind of blaring out the lines, just punching out the lines, kind of shouting out the lines. And then there's this segue, and it always gets me, and maybe it's just me, but it kind of slows down, and she goes into this bridge where she goes, the drinks start pouring, and my speech starts slurring, everybody start looking real good. And then she goes, what is it? The Grey Goose got your girl feeling loose. So
That's drinking.
that's drinking. That's what it'll do.
Yeah, I didn't look up. I meant to look up, and I know you're happy that I didn't. What are the oldest drinking song on record? Because there must have been
Spiced grog.
Yeah, I mean, there must have been. I bet after the first love song, the next song was a song about getting drunk. I would suspect because they go all the way back. But with blues and country, it was just part of the everyday.
Right.
Everybody had a song about drinking.
We were talking, about drugs, sex, and rock and roll, or
Yeah.
sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It's like, so it's just been kind of baked into the fabric of popular music and even older
I
music.
just think artists are often addictive kind of people.
Right.
And they're always they're trying everything. That's the thing is like artists are always like they want to push the limit
Right.
and see what else is out there. So that's what so many of them do.
Taking drugs no one else dares take, just to see if they can
What's
get
that?
inspired.
There's a spiritualized album. The title is Taking Drugs to Make Music to Take Drugs to.
I like that.
Well, what's fascinating to me is the different eras of drugs because in like the 20s and 30s, You've got a lot of stuff about cocaine. You got a lot of stuff.
1920s.
Yes. I'm sorry, the 1920s and 30s. You got a lot of
that first decade there, about 100 years.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You got a lot of songs. I mean, there's always the songs, the drinking songs, but there's a lot of songs about cocaine, and there's a lot of songs about marijuana. If you run across the reference to a viper, a viper was somebody who smoked marijuana. That was
really?
Yeah, that was jazz lingo. They used to call them jazz cigarettes.
Okay.
But Stuff Smith was a writer who wrote a lot of songs about drugs and drinking. And Fats Waller has a great song called If You're a Viper, which is all coded for people going out smoking, getting high.
Yeah, I've noticed there are a lot of songs more recent. Like I told you, I'm kind of concentrating on songs from 2000 and up, with a few maybe back from the 90s. But there's a lot of kind of ambiguity about whether ambiguity. Oh boy, I'm making up words.
Good word.
I swear I'm not on anything. But
Are you hangry?
I'm hangry, and yeah. But ambiguity about whether they're talking about something else or they're talking about drugs.
Right.
I know you've talked about the laws before. There she goes,
which is maybe about heroin.
Right, and it just sounds like some girl or something like that, and it's like, oh wait, no, that's
pulsing through my veins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and I think The Weeknd had one of the more recent, ones of those that I can think of from 2015. Really, it was called "I Can't Feel My Face."
Right,
and it was a really beautifully produced song, a pop song, kind of dance song, and he's got this great Michael Jackson voice, only better. I think he's a better singer than Michael Jackson. And he does have some history of, I believe, cocaine abuse, maybe heroin abuse, I don't know. But, he's singing, I can't feel my face when I'm with you, but I love it, and he's singing it in a club. And it sounds like, oh, that's just kind of I'm so excited by you. But no, it's like if you and I didn't know this when it first came out, but if you snort cocaine, you often can't feel your face.
Yeah, it numbs stuff.
Right. And there are just a lot of songs that I come across that were like, are you talking about? And sometimes a music video can make it more clear that it is something.
Well, sometimes I don't even think the writers are I mean, you think about Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Yeah.
Which everybody, Lucy, Sky, Diamonds.
Yeah.
And he has said, and they've even shown the picture of his son Julian had made a drawing, and he said it was his friend at school, Lucy, and he had diamonds in the sky.
Do you buy that?
What I believe, because Julian has said the same thing, that is really true. But I think there had to be something subconscious, because they were all dropping acid during that period of time.
Yeah.
And
LSD.
how can Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, with all that imagery and LSD in the title, not be a veiled reference to what they were doing?
Right.
Puff the Magic Dragon, they've gone round and round about that for years, but it's like the tell for me is Little Jackie Paper. Why do you name the kid Little Jackie Paper?
Rolling paper, you mean?
Yes. Everybody has said, no, we didn't intend that. But they were all smoking weed, so, you're right about what's around you.
And puffing stuff. The
HR puffing stuff.
HR puffing stuff.
Who's your friend when things get rough? Puff the Magic Dragon, right?
Yeah. But I think sometimes, because I've interviewed people who will say, yeah, I didn't really realize what I was writing about at the time, and then years later, I realized, that's what I was writing about, and it was because that was what was going on in my life. And I think that happens with people.
Well, as the representative songwriter here, I can tell you that it definitely happens. A lot of times I'm just playing with words and write them all down and just think, well, that doesn't mean anything, but then come back later and go, no, that actually does mean something.
Yeah.
It was just coming out of my subconscious.
Yeah. And I think that's when people are doing a lot. There are drug songs like Journey to the Center of Your Mind by the Amboy Dukes, which, they're very purposely capitalizing on this. And, of course, Ted Nugent was the guitarist in that band who famously
never did drugs.
Doesn't do drugs. He told me he liked to scare the people who were doing acid.
Oh, sure, okay.
Howl.
What a lovely guy.
I totally believe. Yeah, he's a total. he is totally a dick from start to finish. But that's what he said. Oh, I didn't say one of those words.
I know. I have to add a word on my list. Go ahead.
But Yeah, I mean, everybody is, maybe they shouldn't have been dropping acid, but he shouldn't have been there trying to foul their trips either. Yeah. But that song is definitely about acid. And Mickey Newberry wrote "Just Dropped In" to see what condition my condition was in, which, you know, they use in The Big Lebowski. Kenny Rogers in the first edition had a big hit, but it doesn't sound like a scary song when they sing it. And I asked him about that song, if it really was about an acid trip, and he said, "Oh yeah, a really bad one."
Oh really?
Yeah, and he said,
I have no idea. I've heard this song, but yeah, it wouldn't have occurred to me to be.
Oh yeah, it's definitely about. I mean, he told me it was about an acid trip, and he said, "Yep, pretty much every line in that is what I experienced."
Wow.
And when he sings it, it's scary.
Right.
You get the feeling like, oh, I'm in something I can't get out of, which is apparently what he felt.
Well, I mean, there was when psychedelic drugs were having a heyday and all, it was sort of well known that quite a few bands and artists were experimenting with it.
Yeah.
How was that dealt back then? Because now it's pretty secretive if someone has a drug problem and they're not as open about it.
Well, it was. I mean, the Beatles came out and talked about dropping acid. They have a song called "Dr. Robert," which is about the dentist who slipped them acid the first time. But they would talk about it and say everybody should do it. The Moody Blues had a song called "Legend of a Mind" about Timothy Leary, telling everybody should basically do acid.
How did that era end then? I mean, it's like they just run through it and shift to other drugs, or.
Well, I think there were enough bad trips, and then it kind of ran its course. As far as when I was in high school, people were still dropping acid and doing stupid things.
Yeah, seems to me. I mean, I'm not quite as old as you, but it seems like the drug use went from more experimental psychedelic stuff to harder stuff that was just more like heroin and.
Well, when you get to the punk era, I mean, Chinese Rocks by Richard Hell and the Voidoids, that's about heroin. But with the Ramones, they're talking about sniffing glue, and people are talking about huffing paint, different things like that, which are, if you're really poor, that's the drug that you can get high with.
Yeah. What? When was Cocaine by Clapton?
It was by J.J. Cale.
Yeah, originally by J.J. Cale, but that's the 70s. But like Cocaine Blues, which Johnny Cash covered in like '68, that song was based on Little Sadie, which came from the 20s at least, and then somebody had a version of that in the 30s. And that's basically about somebody who's a cokehead and murders people.
Oh, wow. See, I think of cocaine having its heyday kind of like in the disco era, maybe before.
Well, it came back. That's the thing, is it was a very popular drug in the teens.
Really?
And in fact, in
the 19s.
The 19s and the late 1800s, in fact, Sherlock Holmes.
Okay.
A fictional character.
Right, it was in Coca-Cola.
Right, it was in Coca-Cola. And you'll find references to it in silent movies. There's a Douglas Fairbanks thing where he plays a Cocaine Charlie. There's a Charlie Chaplin short where a guy is fixing himself with a needle and sets it down and isn't able to give himself the shot, and Charlie Chaplin sits on it and suddenly jumps up and starts going all over the place. So it had its heyday. People realized how addictive and horrible it could be. And then in the 60s, these reports came out that said that it was not addictive.
Oh, well.
And then in the 70s, it became a big deal.
Right.
But it was available the entire time, but it came big in the 70s with disco.
Right.
There's I guess I could make this my recommendation, a TV show called The Nick. Mm-hmm. And it's about the Knickerbocker Hospital in New York City right at the turn of the century. And the main character is a surgeon there, and he becomes addicted to heroin. And he's still operating, and eventually at some point he operates on himself under the sedation of morphine. Eventually he just is out of control, and they send him to a psychiatric hospital, and they treat him with this wonder drug that's not addicting, and it helps him get off of heroin, and it's cocaine. And that's how the show ends.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was just misunderstood.
Yeah, well...
Most drugs were, I guess.
Well, people forgot. They forgot how, it was it's documented back then. And then you find out in the 70s, oh yeah, not only is it addictive, it's really addictive.
Right.
So, but go ahead.
I think through music, all of these drugs, they come back. I mean, like Queens of the Stone Age, they had the 2000 song, Feel Good Hit of the Summer.
Feel Good Hit of the Summer, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like that list of, and the whole lyrics, it's like this thrashing, discordant kind of song.
Nicotine,
and the whole lyrics
Valium, Vicodin, marijuana, ecstasy, and alcohol.
And then cocaine.
Yeah, that's the chorus.
Yes, that's the whole chorus. That's the whole song. There are no verses. It's just that. Yeah. But that was like in 2000. But I think that, after the cocaine age or highlight of disco and everything, I think we did move, like with electronic music, there, like drugs, like MDMA and Molly.
Right.
And GHB and some of those that become popular. But I don't know. I don't know if we're still having waves of different drugs becoming popular and following.
There's definitely a wave for MDMA or ecstasy, because when I was in college in the mid-'80s, there was a very popular band around the Southeast, the White Animals, and they had an album and a song called Ecstasy, and it was definitely about doing ecstasy. Everybody knew they were the X band.
Huh. I didn't know that. I remember the White Animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have some MA references coming up. Well, I can just go ahead and go for it. Why not? So, Tyga featuring Wiz Khalifa in 2013, they had a song about MDMA, and it's just like, I'm swerving, I'm driving, I'm super burnt, don't try me, super turnt, don't try me. And MDMA was the name of the song, Looking for Molly. And then a year before that, Madonna had an album called MDNA, so she changed it by a letter. It was an EDM-inspired album, too, so that kind of made sense, and she was criticized for that. But and then Madonna, I don't know if I want to go on to a different Madonna story. I guess I could.
Yeah, go ahead.
But anyway, yeah, so she, I was talking about videos and how sometimes those will put the context into, what's going on in the song. And she did the song Bad Girl, which, you think Madonna, Bad Girl, it's going to be some sex thing. And it's really kind of a bleak song, very moody song. And the video is a really high-tech, movie. Christopher Walken's in it. He's like her spirit angel or whatever, and Matt Dillon is like a guy she tricks. I mean, a trick, and all that stuff. And she's just like talking about bad girl, drunk by 6, kissing some stranger's lips. I'm not happy when I'm this way. I'm not happy when I'm this way. So she's talking about trying to escape depression and everything. And in the end, she's killed by a serial killer. So spoiler alert there. Oh man! But yeah, she's not going to pull out of that tone. And then. By the same token, I've mentioned Lily Allen before, but she had a song called Everything to Feel Something, and it was about just losing everything and not feeling anything anymore. So she would try everything. So she was doing promiscuous sex and drugs and alcohol, and what was it she says? I don't know why I do it to myself, giving all my worth to someone else. And it's just like I did everything to feel something and still nothing. So I'm going more into the darker, I guess, here.
Yeah.
Well, there's not going to be any MDMA songs from 1920.
No,
because it's it's a new drug.
Yeah.
Because when I was in the same year, back when the White Animals were playing their song Ecstasy was still legal. Yeah. And a guy I knew, a friend of mine that lived in the same neighborhood as me from Memphis, took his parents all his tuition money and book money and everything and drove down to Dallas and bought as much ecstasy as he could get. And brought it home and capsuled it up and sold it for $25 a hit, and I think he tripled his money.
Wow. Yeah, I have a friend who he took ecstasy when it was legal and was telling me about it. I was like, wow, that's unbelievable. You could just go up and buy that or Tylenol.
Yeah.
I mean,
LSD was legal till I think 67.
What's that?
LSD was legal until like 67.
Wow.
Yeah,
so maybe there's some stuff out there now, cool stuff out there now that's legal that nobody knows about yet.
Or it could kill you, one or the other.
Or it could kill you, or both, yeah.
Bath salts.
Know.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if there's any songs about bath salts. I don't know about any bath salt songs.
Probably. I'm sure there is. Well, I want to kick back to some more fun songs because...
okay.
If we can. And I've mentioned this song before. I think I may have even mentioned it last week, but I just have to because it belongs in this category. And it is Not If You Were the Last Junkie on Earth by Dandy Warhol. Just because the beauty of it is it's like I never thought you'd be a junkie because heroin is so passé. The beauty of that is not only are you insulting a heroin addict, but you're insulting them for being passé with the drug they're addicted to. So it's just like such a biting song. And have you all heard, you probably have, you had to have, I had to make you, but the unbanned Cocaine Whore? Do you remember that? Did I play that? I remember. So it's this rock band. It's this rock band, and it's sad, but it's the guys are all singing in falsetto, and only their piano player is playing music for this song, and it's just like this kind of not a drone or anything, but just this slow, soft piano thing, and the guys are singing falsetto, and it's like I can't do it, but it's like, you know who you are, cocaine whore, cocaine whore, always begging for more, waiting for the man, keeping it real, but it just keeps getting realer. Baby, where's your dealer? And it's just done in this really high. It's incredibly offensive and also hilarious. And I saw them do it live too.
Who is this?
It's like The Unbanned. That song's from 2000.
Well, I think another one from 2000.
Okay, there's a lot of 2000 things.
Yeah, my one of my all-time favorite drug songs is Afro Man because it's the most honest, song in the world.
Yes, it's like a fun song.
Yeah.
About getting stoned, and I forget. Jay and Silent Bob are in that, so it's from one of those movies. I don't know which one, but they're like in the video with him.
I don't remember the video, but
yeah, well, he's just like grinning ear to ear in the video, just like I was going to do this, but I got high.
Yeah,
because I got high. He has I was going to go to court before I got high. I was going to pay my child support, but then I got high. So it's like a proud loser who's just stoned all the time.
Yeah, it's my favorite part, and I can't say it. You've got your line at your words I can't say up here.
Yep.
He's talking about his girlfriend. How he was going to take her out, and I was going to, perform an act on you too. But then I got high.
Yeah.
I interviewed him when that came out. And, he was like, it was Napster. I think it was Napster that like made him a star.
Really?
Because he put that out.
Yeah.
Without a label, and it just went viral.
Well, I think it was hitched to Jay and Silent Bob. Like I say, they're in the video, so it may have been from a movie.
It's after he did that, and it went and it became this viral, phenomenon.
Okay.
And then he got signed, and everybody heard it, and everybody loved it. And he was a super nice guy. I really liked talking to him. He had a good sense of humor, as you would think he would. But that album's got some other stuff on it. It's not just all jokes, but it was.
Yeah.
He was very talented. It was great.
I've got a nice whimsical drug song.
Which one?
Cool.
By NRBQ, and it's called Wacky Tobacco.
I love Wacky Tobacco.
It just talks about, it made me go shave my beard. I had some in my shoe. It's just complete. It's just happy toe tapping song. They can sing this phone book and make it toe tapping.
Oh, they were terrific. Well, it's not quite that much fun, but Gin and Juice by Snoop Dogg, which I have a version by the Gourds.
Yeah, that one's good.
And it's like, that's the thing. It's like you stretch it out. When you actually sing it rather than rap it, it takes a 4-minute song, and it takes nearly 7 minutes to do it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about, Dr. Dre brought over some great weed, some bubonic chronic. It made me choke.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm trying to remember the name of the Beastie Boys song, but it's on Paul's Boutique.
They did Brass Monkey.
Is that the one that has a gigantic? No, there's one where there's just a gigantic bong hit in the middle of the song, and then at the end of the bong hit, there's a sound of like an atomic bomb exploding.
Well, it's going back to the '60s. All these songs that were coded references to marijuana other than Puff the Magic Dragon, like Along Comes Mary by The Association, like the most vanilla group in the entire world, and they're singing a song that's obviously about weed.
I never put that together, but it makes sense.
Now My Empty Cup is as sweet as the punch.
Well,
That's about weed?
That's about weed. Along Comes Mary. Anytime you find Mary in a 60s song.
The Wind Cries Mary.
Jane.
Yeah, Mary Jane. Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Mary Jane's Last Dance in the 80s, I guess.
Tom Petty.
70s. I can't remember if it's the 70s or 80s when that came out.
That was the 80s.
Yeah. But, yeah. And everybody will deny it, but it's like, I'm sorry. You got Mary Jane in a song. Yeah. It's pretty much going to be about marijuana.
Well, there you go.
And there were tons of them.
Yeah. I don't really have many fun songs left. I don't think I have any. I'm just like all grim and dour over here.
Oh, I got some more.
Okay.
All right.
Keep us entertained before I bring it all down.
After you listen to this podcast, I want you to go to YouTube and to look up Lawrence Welk, One Toke Over the Line.
Oh, my God.
I've heard a Muzak version of that song.
Well,
which is pretty close.
What happened is, obviously, that's the thing, is in the 60s, well, all through, the eons, people have used codes to talk about this stuff. So Brewer and Shipley have this hit song, One Toke Over the Line, which is, okay, I smoked one puff too much. And the Lawrence Welk people did not know what that song was about. So he
Really? Oh, wow.
He introduces it as a modern spiritual.
Oh,
and
no.
Dick Dale and I can't remember if it's I can't think of our person that was on the Lawrence Welk show from Knoxville. I can't remember if it's him and her, but it's Dick Dale and one of his partners, and they sing One Toke Over the Line.
Oh my God! Did the singers know what it was?
Nobody apparently did, but I bet there were cameramen who knew, and I bet the cameramen were just killing themselves trying to not laugh. But you can find it on YouTube. And
Lawrence Welk, One Toke Over the Line.
Yes, and he says it's a modern spiritual.
Noted weed pusher, Lawrence Welk.
They say the song has Sweet Jesus in it, so I guess they decided it was a spiritual.
It's kind of like Pat Boone covering Tutti Frutti. I mean, Tutti Frutti is about gay sex, I think.
Yeah, well, that's what...
But Pat Boone didn't know that.
Well, they changed. I mean,
Maybe.
Little Richard changed the lyrics.
Well, yeah. Well, he put everything in code.
Yeah, but yeah, Pat
Still,
Boone.
it's the same ridiculous idea as Lawrence Welk covering One Toke Over the Line.
It is. Well, Brewer and Shipley, I saw them interviewed about it, or they actually were. They were interviewed. They were like, it's a video of them talking about it, and they like went on tour in Europe, and then came back and saw the Lawrence Welk show and couldn't believe it.
Well, that money spends just as well as any other.
I guess so.
But I love it when things like that happen and people don't realize, oh, this is what you're singing about.
Yeah.
It's a spiritual.
It's just a spiritual.
Well, there's that, and there's, you remember Musical Youth with Pass the Dutchie.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a cover of the Mighty Diamonds' Pass the Coochie.
Right.
And the Coochie was a joint, and the Dutchie, they said, oh, it's a pot that everybody eats out of.
I mean, I remember Musical Youth, right?
Uh-huh, right.
Yeah, I remember hearing that song and thinking, what the hell are they talking about? I didn't know that it was based on something else.
Well, they said that the Dutchie was like some sort of a communal like food pot that people passed around.
Oh.
But it's based on the Mighty Diamonds song, Pass the Coochie. Oh. And the Coochie was a joint.
Well, now I've heard that as something else also.
That's true. Well, if you pass it,
It's a lot harder to pass.
We can pass that also. Maybe all three at the same time, all three coochies. Being passed in one big circle.
Well, if you got one, it's good to have the other with you. But,
All right.
So, fun songs. Well, the No-No song, which is about not doing drugs anymore.
Okay.
And that's a Hoyt Axton song that Ringo Starr had a hit with.
Yeah.
Was it a tongue-in-cheek, or was it really a sober...
Well, he was trying... I mean, it's amazing how many drug songs that Hoyt Axton actually wrote, because he wrote The Pusher, that Steppenwolf had a hit with and was in the movie Easy Rider. And then he had Snowblind Friend, about a guy that's hooked on cocaine. And the No-No song is, he goes through... somebody bringing him cocaine, somebody bringing him weed, somebody bringing him drink, and it's no, I don't do it no more. I'm
tired of waking up on the floor.
Right. No, thank you, please. It only makes me sneeze, and then it makes it hard to find the door. But it's a fun song about not doing it and the temptations of doing it.
Right.
So that one's fun, and of course all the old ones. Have you ever met the funny reefer man? That's a Stuff Smith. Here Comes the Man with the Jive. No, yeah, the refrain was actually Cab Calloway, but I think Stuff Smith wrote it. And Wildwood Weed in the 70s, Jim Stafford had a song that's just basically a little story song about guys who find a marijuana patch.
Jim Stafford?
Jim Stafford.
Is that someone you would think would do a song like that? Or?
Well, he was always doing funny songs. He was, his big hit was Spiders and Snakes.
Okay.
I don't like spiders and snakes, and that ain't what it takes to love me.
You're hurting my brain. I need some weed or drink. Can someone help me here?
But Wildwood Weed was a hit, and it was a funny song in the early 70s about guys who discover a marijuana patch and get high.
Yeah. Okay.
Sounds like a good day.
Yeah, and it was really funny, and it was a pretty big hit. The Stranglers' Golden Brown is this punk band, the Stranglers. I think that song's about hash. Golden Brown's. I thought it was about heroin initially, but I think it was actually about hash. There's Sweet Leaf by Black Sabbath.
Yep.
A lot of good stuff. I think those are my fun ones for the most part. The other things are not as fun. Casey Jones is not. That's a cocaine song. It's not exactly fun, but the Grateful Dead.
You have dark songs?
Oh, I have tons of dark songs.
I only have a few of those too.
Really?
I think some of the most convincing ones. Do you remember Concrete Blonde's Joey?
Yeah.
Johnette Napolitano was the lead singer. That was kind of a one-hit wonder for them, but it was like I liked it because it was from the victim of the alcoholic. Mm-hmm. Some of the songs are just about, and this is what I don't like about movies about drug addicts and everything, is it kind of just like puts them the center of all attention and everything, and it's not really like the vacuum on the emotions of everybody around them that they inflict, But in Concrete Blonde, she really nails it. It's like, if you're hurting, I'm hurting. If you're afraid, I'm afraid too. And I've got the money for you. And it's just like this guy who's kind of at wit's end with alcoholism. He's been dealing with it for a long time, and she'll do anything to try to save him. And she's letting him know she's not angry with him. Yeah. So it's like a really moving song. There's also, I don't know if you remember Kay's Choice, Not an Addict.
Yeah.
And that was a Belgian band, a brother-sister band from Belgium. And it has these real haunting, the sister is the singer, and it has these real haunting kind of rhythmic moans at the beginning. And it's about being a heroin addict. And, it's just like the deeper you take it in your vein, the deeper the thoughts are that there will be no more pain. And she keeps saying, I'm not an addict, it's true, I'm not. And then toward the end, she goes, I'm not an addict, maybe that's a lie. And I find it harder to listen to the Amy Winehouse Rehab now than when she was alive, because it almost feels like a cry for help, because it was like this kind of punchy song, I don't want to go to rehab, no, all that stuff. And then she died a few years later.
Yeah.
It's like, and that's exactly, rehab.
What she needed.
Yeah.
After watching that Amy Winehouse documentary, it's hard for me to listen to anything without feeling all the pain, because it tore me up.
Yeah.
Well, there's my favorite song when you're talking about the earlier one. Superdrag have a song on the album Last Call for Vitriol called "Feeling Like I Do," and it's about the person who's a drunk, which in this case was the lead singer John Davis, singing to his wife, or I'm not sure if they were married then or not, and it was basically how bad it is that she had to take care of him, and he didn't want her feeling like he feels.
Yeah.
And it's done with all these minor chords that make the hair on the back of your neck stand up.
Yeah.
But there's so much pain in that song, and it's not wanting to be that person that's causing pain to your partner.
Right.
And it's a great song.
That's a perspective that's really valuable. And like I said, that's one that I find missing in a lot of movies about addicts. It's like they kind of elevate the addict to heroin status for kicking, whatever. And by heroin, I mean heroic status.
Oh. Yeah.
Let me get this. Let me
get the terminology here.
Yeah. So they are like the hero of the story because they get addicted to something, and then they free themselves from it, but the toll that it takes on the people around them is kind of discounted, or almost like it's their problem or they created this person to become an addict.
Right.
And that just, I don't like that, because I know that's not an honest portrayal of how these things go. It's usually on the backs of other people and I mean, I don't, if someone's got a disease or something like that, you want them to get better. So I don't blame people for, putting their all, but you become, if you're close to an addict or an alcoholic or whatever, you become their doctor and their therapist, and you have to become everything to them, and it's just all on you, or often you'll feel like it's all on you to pull them out of it. And typically addiction and alcoholism, all that typically comes with pretty heavy dose of narcissism, because they do become self-centered and focused on their next hit and their next hit. That kind of consumes them, and that's just how it is, and that's the disease and how it works. But if you've ever been roped into that kind of situation, it's like, good luck. That's all I can say.
Well, I think that's one of the scariest things about it is, and I've got a real good friend who was addicted to heroin for a long time. Oh. And I think it's like your body just hunger. Yeah. It's like that feeling of I'm starving. Yeah. And I have to get this somewhere.
And it's your top priority, and if you've got kids or loved ones or anything like that, it's like they're not your top priority.
Yeah. No, it becomes just
but you have to be theirs for them to help you survive.
Yeah. Well, there's some songs that talk about that. There's a song called Heroin by Ike Riley. And it's just a very short, kind of mournful song, and it's just like this guy speaking to his heroin addict friend, talking about all the stuff that he's done, and all it is to get more heroin. Right. And talks about how, he's ruined his relationship with his family. It's very poetically done. It sounds awkward the way I'm saying it, but it's a beautiful little song that lasts maybe 2 minutes, 10 seconds. Right. And sums it all up. Right. It's very rough.
Yeah.
I've got a song. I don't know if it's somewhere in the middle, but it's by Steve Wynn and the Miracle 3 off of their 2006, I think, 2003 album, Static Transmission, and the song is Amphetamine. Mm-hmm. And it's got this driving beat, but it starts kind of reduced, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and heavier and heavier and heavier and more out of control as it goes. It's just a really good song.
Well, I still think Metallica never got better than Master of Puppets, and Master of Puppets is all about drug addiction.
Right. Amy Mann, The Forgotten Arm, is a concept album.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And I really enjoyed it. I know reviews are kind of mixed on it, but it was like about a boxer and former vet who's a stoner and a real heavy drinker, and he hooks up with this kind of woman of ill repute. And they decide they're going to make a run for it and just go on a road trip. And not long into it, he starts resenting her and not feeling attached to her or anything like that. But there's a great song called She Really Wants You. And in it, he feels like a loser. Everything about her makes him feel like a loser. But as soon as he realizes that she really wants him, he runs and clings to her because she's like the only person in the world left who will be that for him. And then, things, of course, keep going wrong, and he keeps drinking, and he ends up in rehab. And I think the most powerful song is from her perspective, and it's called I Can't Help You Anymore. And I think, she's been writing it out with him and trying to help him. So this is a case of where the victim is an adjacent to the alcoholic, even more so than the alcoholic. And the best line is the song escalates, and Amy just comes in, through the perspective of the woman, of just saying, I've got to let you go now or it will drag me under. So she feels herself also.
Well, and the song right after that is the one where it's the addict saying, I was thinking I could clean up for Christmas.
I used to play that on my Christmas show.
And, that's just such an addict thing to say.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to keep using until then. I'm going to set a date when I'm going to clean up.
Yeah. But again, that's called The Forgotten Arm, and it's from 2005, and it's like a whole album about what we're talking about.
She hadn't put out a bad album.
No, I love this album, and I was like, kind of pissed at some of the reviews I read, like, but I think it was just shallow reviewers who who don't read lyrics, and
So, I didn't know that got bad reviews. I didn't know that got bad reviews. We both liked it a lot, but that's us.
Yeah, that's us. Yeah,
you're out of step.
we can feel the vibe, Amy. She's got it.
Yeah,
got it great. And I wanted to say we'd mentioned rap. I think the most. Did I mention Lil Wayne?
No.
Okay.
No, you haven't
yet.
yet.
It's like, well, just that was a really, Lil Wayne was one of the most influential rappers that we've ever had. And in 2007, he had a song called "I Feel Like Dying," and that's like he did a lot of drugs and a lot of different kinds of drugs. Very somber. Kind of haunting song. I hate using the word haunting. I almost never used it in reviews. Right. But he's such an influential rapper, and he was just talking about, only once the drugs are gone or done, then I feel like dying. And it's just kind of like how heavy and despairing, the situation can get when you're just using drugs all the time.
Yeah. Well, it's weird. I mean, you think about codeine because he was a robo tripper.
Yeah.
And, codeine was a big drug all the way through. There's songs in the 1920s about codeine.
Yeah.
And people were, one of the songs, Buffy St. Marie and Donovan and all sorts of people covered. It's weird how these drugs come up and down.
Yeah.
Through the years.
Yeah.
I never thought codeine would be a big thing again.
Yeah.
Who wants to? I don't know who wants to feel like you feel when you've done.
And I remember Quaaludes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were such a thing now, and it's like
I don't even think they make them anymore.
They quit making
them.
Have
Quaaludes now?
No.
What replaced Quaaludes? I guess really stronger.
I don't think anything was. I never did Quaaludes.
Right.
But from everything I've ever read or heard, it's like there's nothing that really is the same as what that was.
Really?
Yeah.
And it was just like a narcotic, or?
Yeah, it was some sort of an opiate.
Okay.
But I think it was an opiate, but apparently it had an effect on people that other things don't, not OxyContin or anything else, even though OxyContin is apparently a stronger drug.
There was some horror film. And this is what I know of Quaaludes, but it's some horror film from the 70s. I watched it, not in the 70s. I don't know when I saw it, but there was this, young, attractive woman, and she's sitting in front of what she thinks is a mirror, but there's like this monstrous thing that's going to kill her, and she goes, "Oh, these effing Quaaludes." And I thought, did Quaaludes give you a bad complexion? Or so that's my Quaalude story.
Well, I'm trying to think. I want to mention a couple more heroin songs.
Okay,
because there's so many. I'm surprised you didn't bring up "Heroin Girl" by Everclear. That's one of your.
No, I know. I've mentioned them before. Sometimes I mention some of my favorite acts, and then 2-3 weeks later, it's like, oh, I can bring that up again. And I already did that with Andy Warhol, so I was trying to.
Okay.
Repeating.
Well, "Needle and the Damage Done" by Neil Young.
Yeah.
That was
Neil Young also in the Last Waltz, where he comes out on stage with just cocaine all over his face.
Yeah, and they had to go in and physically
remove it.
Before digital. Yeah. This was before digital. They had to go into all those frames on the master and paint over the cocaine booger on the side of his nose.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, beware the cocaine booger. That's a good sign to split parties with that person.
Yeah, I think the prettiest one about heroin is "She Talks to Angels" by the Black Crowes. The best. Okay. I think that's the best song they ever did, and it's just a gorgeous song.
Would she die?
Well, no, it's just she's an addict, and he's in love with her.
Okay.
And it's just, Rich Robinson, I think, wrote that tune when he was in high school, like he was in some English class or something, and came up with that tune. And it's just,
Do you think that there's proportionally more songs about heroin than others? Is it because it's so powerful?
I think it's because it's so powerful and so damaging.
Life-altering, right.
Damaging. Yeah. The things that are really, really addictive. A lot of people had a lot of fun with cocaine.
Right.
But then when those people got really addicted, they became paranoid and crazy and couldn't write anything.
Right.
You know, I think with heroin they could still function to write.
And I think heroin's relatively cheap.
Is it? Wow.
As opposed to cocaine.
Yeah, well, yeah,
no
probably
idea.
so.
So, you know, if you're really strung out on cocaine and you can't afford more,
Yeah.
seems like it might be an easy transition, so, I guess. I don't know.
Tell us all about
Tell
it.
us about this. This is an interesting subject.
And
The economy of addiction.
And I was saying before we went on the air, we could have done a whole episode of just the Rolling Stones songs about drugs. But
You could have.
well, I could.
I could have listened.
Kind of the first one that was actually a hit was Mother's Little Helper, which was about prescription drugs that, you know, housewives were on,
Yeah.
which I thought was kind of crazy. And also,
When was this? Was it Valiant
that
time
was
or
60.
before?
That was
it was about
60.
65,
Okay.
66.
What'd they give women then? Or-
But, well, a lot of it was diet pills, quote unquote, which was speed, Benzedrine and
Okay.
Dexedrine,
Okay.
like Mrs. Murphy.
Okay.
Whoever.
Sister Morphine.
Sister Morphine, which Marianne Faithfull finally got credit for writing the lyrics to.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Oh, and what's the other one? Take me down, sweet Virginia.
That's Dead Flowers.
Dead Flowers.
Yeah, it was about being a heroin addict in your basement, shooting up.
I'll be in my basement room with my needle and a spoon.
Wow.
Yep. But there were songs that I was looking over when I was looking things up that I didn't realize were about drugs.
Okay.
And She Was by the Talking Heads.
And she was.
That's about one of David Byrne's friends, some woman who was laying in her backyard and had dropped acid and was like, imagined herself floating everywhere.
Wow.
Ah,
Which I had no idea. Goldust Woman by Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that's a
Yeah.
cocaine song.
Yeah, I knew that.
I didn't know that one.
I understand they did their fair share of cocaine.
I believe they did. Got to Get
It's all
You
those
Into My
cocaine
Life
boogers.
by the Beatles.
Oh.
It's a drug song?
That's about weed. It's Paul McCartney wanting to get more weed.
Well, there's on Venus and Mars, the Wings album, the first song, Rock Show, he talks about the tension mounts, you score an ounce, Olay.
Yeah.
He
Well,
was always a pretty unabashed marijuana fan.
yeah, I kind of think that hurt his songwriting ability after a while. I think it started out helping him, and then I think it started to hurt him. He had some pretty bad songs there for a while. Yeah. But then, and then there's the songs about the people who are running drugs. Copperhead Road by Steve Earle, which of course mentions Knoxville. Mm-hmm. That's he starts out with moonshine and then goes to marijuana. And then Kid Charlemagne by Steely Dan, which is about Owsley Stanley, the drug chemist, who was the Grateful Dead sound man.
And there's a Steely Dan song about Tonight When I Chase the Dragon.
Yeah.
That's from Asia, I think.
I think it's either Asia or Gaucho. I can't remember which it's from. But yeah, that's about smoking heroin.
Smoking heroin?
That's what Chasing the Dragon is smoking heroin.
Oh.
You know, the Abba's The Winner Takes It All is about fentanyl. I had a straight face in that. It's like I had to think of something. I had to be part of this conversation, but I didn't have anything new to say.
That would be a fun topic, just to make up songs that are not really
Not
about drugs,
at
but
all.
make
Just
them like
assign
fun
drugs to them. Yes.
Yeah, the only thing I think I was going to mention at some point, because I mean, I could, like I said, I could do a whole show on heroin songs. It's Carmelita by Warren Zevon, which is Carmelita, hold me tighter. I think I'm sinking down, and I'm all strung out on heroin on the outskirts of town.
Wow.
It's a great song, and it's just he's a loser and he's just a heroin addict. They cut off her welfare check, and he's got no more money.
Well,
But yeah,
I got a little anti-rock and roll drug song.
Okay.
Not song, just a story. There's a great documentary about Rush called the Beyond the something stage. Anyway, it's a documentary about Rush. And one of their early tours, they toured with Kiss.
Uh-huh.
And so they interviewed Gene Simmons, and he's like, we were up here in the hotel room with drugs and booze and broads, and we'd walk down the room, and there'd be Rush all sitting there in their bedroom reading science fiction novels. They didn't do any drugs or any drinking or anything, and yet they were pretty,
well, Gene Simmons didn't do any drugs.
well,
That was his thing. It's like he wanted sex, but no drugs.
Okay, well, I imagine with that tongue, he got a fair amount of what he wanted.
Oh,
I mean, sex is an addiction too. And I did come across a song by DJ Destructo. This is a real thing, not the ABBA fentanyl thing, but DJ Destructo. And they took, I don't know if they directly took the line from White Lines by, Grandmaster Melly Mel. The early, get higher, baby, get higher, baby. Anyway, so DJ Destructo takes that, and this song's like 10 or 15 years ago. And that's the only vocal in it is somebody going, get higher, baby. Now, again, I don't know if it's from the original song or they're just like imitating it. But the video is like two really sexy people, this woman who just can't get enough sex from this guy, and he's got another girlfriend. And they turn it into she is addicted to sex with him. Mm-hmm. And so he keeps going, get higher, baby, get higher, baby. And then there's just this explosion of like techno stuff you would hate and everything. And the video is just like you see blood rushing and vessels opening and all that, and they start making out and all that. And then he leaves her again, and she's like going through withdrawals, and then it's like, get higher, baby, get higher, baby. And then like he pulls her into a pool, and then all their things are exploding and expanding and blood rushing and all that. And in the end, like she's like lying on a stretcher, and Destructo, who's like a big electronic DJ, he's like pushing her, they're rushing her in the hospital, and she's got her heart sitting on top of her body, and it's just like pounding and everything, and her eyes are rolling back in her head. But I think that, sex as an addiction is probably a pretty clever thing to do. Anyway.
Anybody know any songs about gambling addictions?
Gambler.
Got to know when to hold them.
Yeah. Well, and when to fold them.
You'll laugh because I know a song from the 20s.
The 1920s.
The 1920s. Yeah, the 1920s. Mother, the Queen of My Heart, which is about a guy who's, his mom asks him, on her deathbed, she asked him to quit drinking and gambling. And he's out gambling with the boys, and he's got a great hand. And all of a sudden, the queen, the card that he's holding, I can't remember if he's got 4 queens or what he's got in his hand, but anyway, the queen turns into his mother and says, son, you have broken your promise, so I threw the cards all away.
Wow. Well, there you go.
Yeah, and he gave the winnings to the newsboy, and now he's not since broken his promise to my mother, the Queen of My Heart.
You've shared something else with me I didn't know.
What?
That story.
Oh, that story, yeah. There's gambling songs, though. Yeah, and I mean, like I said,
let's go back to sex.
Yeah, well, we could always go back to sex.
Sex addiction in songs.
Strange Love Vibration. Or Strange Love Addiction. Who is it by?
Strange Love?
You would know Strange Love Addiction. You would know who this is.
I don't know that one.
I don't know if I know that.
I'll think of it.
Well, how about the Buzzcocks, Orgasm Addict?
Oh, yeah, Orgasm Addict. That's a great song.
Yeah.
Well, I've got one that I actually could use as a transition into recommendations if we want to go there. Or do we have more drunkard stories?
Well, mine I was pretty much all on the...
Supreme Beings of Leisure.
Okay, yeah. All
Strange Love Addiction.
Well, no, pretty much. I mean, I didn't bring up a whole lot of drinking songs because I was concentrating on the drugs.
Okay.
I could do easily. I mean, there's so many drinking songs out there, especially R&B. Yeah. Tons.
They're up.
What?
Thin Lizzy song, Liquor in the Glass, Whiskey in the Glass.
Whiskey in the Jar.
Whiskey in the Jar.
Yeah, that's a song from the 1800s, at least. Yeah. That's a folk song.
I was so afraid you were going to say liquor in the front.
Poker in the back. No, that's Whiskey in the Jar is also known as Glengarra Mountain. Oh. Yeah, that's like at least the 1800s, maybe the 1700s.
Oh, my God. Okay, so...
Anyway, sorry. Okay.
So one I didn't mention, and this is a band I've not talked about yet. I don't know how we've gotten to episode 47 or 41. Where are we? 41. And haven't mentioned this group called Tuscadero, and they are one of the prototypes of the type of music I liked in the 90s, and that was women-fronted rock pop bands that were kind of riot girl, not grunge or anything like that, but just sassy lyrics and like I mentioned Elastica and Luscious Jackson and just on and on and on. But they're called Veruca Salt, Tuscadero. And they had a song in '96 called Tickled Pink. And it's a real playful, fun song. And it's about feminism. And it's like drinking with your friends. And it's about, they had this hot guy. One of them's got her eye on. And she wants to show him something in her apartment. And it's just got this real, like, plucky little part where they're doing their lyrics, and then and it's got a more rowdy, guitar part. And there are two guys in the band too. There are always a couple of guys in these bands, but the women are the, singer, lead guitarist, and all that. And anyway, so the lyrics are, "You shake me in my shoes, especially in your underoos. Of course, it might just be the booze. What have I got to lose? I am drunken on the floor, and we are drinking more. 3 whiskeys turned into 4. Oh, I am woman, hear me roar." So I like that. That was from their album, My Way or the Highway. But the album by them I would recommend is actually called the Pink Album, and that's from '94. It was their first album. It was a DC band, and they were in something called, they were on like High School Records or Yearbook Records or something. And they were like the premier act, but it was an indie record label, and they had a few albums, and they disappeared. But the '94 album, the Pink Album, which was before, it has a song called "Heat Lightning," which is just this runaway kind of power pop, drum heavy song about she's like a big talker and everything. She's like, "I'm going to burn you up just like a witch. Lightning has a temper because sometimes God's a bitch." So, I like one. That. They had a song called "Dime a Dozen." I think I made you hear that once, Wayne. It's like a folk song almost, but it's kind of turns into this little buoyant kind of bouncy thing. And she's talking about a friend who said she's just her boyfriend's friend. And, of course, then she finds out that they're seeing each other. So she's being cheated on by her friend and her boyfriend together. And she just goes, "It's the biggest mistake I ever made, but I made sure you paid. So that was good. And then the last song from that album I would say is that I would recommend is like Nancy Drew. And she's accosting her parents, or they're accosting their parents. Both of the women are singing. They're not sisters, though. But they're confronting their parents who threw away all their crap from the attic. Mm-hmm. And it included all her Barbies and Kens and all that stuff. And it was like, "And you threw out my Nancy Drew books, my, was it something horses from Massachusetts?" And she goes, "I collected all 56 and you threw them out. You're both such pricks." So anyway, just that fun, jaunty, there's nothing kind of been like it since then, but the 90s were just a little flourishing point for one of my favorite subgenres.
You want to go next?
Yeah. I was kind of doing a deep dive into one of my favorite bands, 10cc, which I know we have mentioned before, and was just learning about how the band came together. And it's really interesting because they were all 4 pretty successful songwriters in their own right. And they were under contract with a New York company to just churn out bubblegum pop songs. And the record label, it was not K-Tel, I think it was called K-Tunes. But they would put out these compilation of just little bubblegum hit songs by a million different names, but they were mostly all 10cc playing everything. Then they ended up writing a song called Neanderthal Man, and which in 1970, and it became a huge hit. And so they decided to put a band together, and it was 10cc, but the name of the band was Hot Legs, and they only just did one album. But I just listened to it all day today, and 10cc are just really adventurous studio musicians, and they owned their own studio. Doing those novelty pop songs gave them the money to build their studio and equip it with state-of-the-art gear, and then they worked exclusively in their studio. And so I don't know. I just really like the way they work together. They're all amazingly accomplished musicians, and they all write and they all sing. And so Hot Legs is an interesting beginning of 10cc. So cool. The name of the album is called, Think, School Stinks.
I've got a reissue of that that's just, I think it's just called Hot Legs. But I need to go back and re-listen to it because I like everything by them too.
Yeah, it's really good.
Well, I want to recommend, because I just mentioned it a little while ago, Last Call for Vitriol by Superdrag, which, if you remember, Superdrag was on Elektra Records way back when. They had a song called Sucked Out that was a kind of an MTV hit. But their last album before they went on a long hiatus is Last Call for Vitriol, which had Nick Harrison in it and Sam Powers, who were not original members. But it's my favorite Superdrag album.
I think it's mine too.
And it's just rough. It starts off like just an absolute blast of energy with Baby Goes to 11, which is a great, just kick-ass, up-tempo love song that's just terrific, and then goes right into I Can't Wait by Sam Powers, which is like one of the best 1-2 punches of any album that I've ever heard. It's just one great high-energy song into another great high-energy song.
Yeah, songs are really well written.
Yeah, and The Staggering Genius is another song that's where John Davis is basically making fun of himself, or disparaging himself for being, everybody calling him a genius because he can play everything and do everything anyway. He's a great artist. But if you've never heard Superdrag, it may be the best place to start. Maybe an earlier album, but I think that is their best album.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm glad you agree with that, because not many people do.
That there's a line in there where he said, it gets to me how I used to be so extrasensory.
Yeah.
I just love that, just the thought of that line. I love the way it's put together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a terrific album. If you've never, and the band is really good just overall. Anything that you get by them, there's going to be something good on it. But that one and Regretfully Yours and Head Trip in Every Key are all great. But that one in particular, well, and also I'm leaving out. What's the one I'm leaving out?
In the Valley of
the Dying Stars. It's another great one.
They're all great.
Yeah, but that's my favorite of the bunch. You got a movie recommendation or TV?
You want me to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. So there are a lot of movies, kind of horror movies, scary movies, or whatever, about cabins and stuff. And I think over time you might get them mixed up as to what's what, and
right.
You haven't seen. Like there was the Wrong Turn was about the people who get lost out in the boonies and all that stuff. And I always think that's a cabin movie, but it's not. And then there's Cabin Fever, which is about what is it?
Flesh-eating bacteria.
Yeah, and I always forget that was that movie, but it's Cabin Fever. And then, of course, you had Knock at the Cabin, which is the Shyamalan movie.
Right.
But the best one, I think, and I think people overlook it or have forgotten it or they've confused it with other cabins, and that's The Cabin in the Woods,
right?
Which was from 2012. And the thing about this one, it was produced by Joss Whedon, directed by Drew Goddard, and Whedon and Goddard worked together on Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel on TV. And it's not, it's kind of a dark humor for sure, but and that's what they're really good at, just great dialogue, snappy dialogue, and sarcastic things, and surprises. And theoretically, it's about it is about 5 college students who are friends who go to a cabin in the woods for a few days, and it's just a getaway, and things kind of happen to them. But it has twists in it as it goes along, and it has one just twist that I think the biggest twist, and I had no idea what was going on for the longest time, because it was like, because you're just in the middle of this movie that's kind of like, ooh, they're in danger, or something's going to happen to these people, and then it's like, what in the hell is happening here? It all comes together beautifully, and there are more twists, and there's like a big surprise guest, star at the end, or who helps wrap it up at the end. Hint, you might know her from Alien.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, and I think it was a great movie, and I watched it again recently, even though it's from 2012, and it still holds up. And it's not really a horror film so much as just a lot of weird, funny things in it. And it's Chris Hemsworth. I believe it's actually his first movie, because they filmed it in 2009. It didn't come out till 2012, and at that point, his star was rising. But it's funny to see him. He's just one of the ensemble college kids. Now he's 40 something. But it's just a good movie, and it holds up, and it's clever, and twisty and just a good watch.
And it's best if you don't research it at all.
Don't research it at all. And it's not, I know you don't like being scared. There's kind of, I think, early part when they're determining fates and weird stuff like that. There's some scary stuff, but it's more funny and weird than just straight up scary. It's kind of a send up of like a slasher movie or torture porn, garbage like that.
Send up of all those Cabin in the Woods movies.
Yeah, all those other movies with cabins in them and cabins in their titles.
Yep.
So anyway, I recommend that one. You dig that up.
Cabin in the Woods is always a good plot device, though.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a X-Files episode where there's a team of people way out in the woods logging in like northern Oregon or what. They're living in this one little cabin that the electricity is run by a generator. And at some point they cut into a tree, and inside the tree ring are these dormant mites that are photophobic mites that will just they'll eat your skin off.
Oh, wow.
And the only way you can keep them away is they're afraid of light. So
it's got to be around light all the time.
Yeah, so the tension in the whole thing is that they're trying to get through the night with the gas that's in the generator to keep the lights on, and they're running out of gas, and that's the whole tension plot thing. But it was a really great idea.
Well, and worth noting here, just because we're in East Tennessee, is Evil Dead, one of the first great horror films, was filmed in a small house cabin, Morristown. In Tennessee, even though it was like a crew came down from Michigan, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's Michigan.
It was Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell. It was like a great, weird movie. The very first Evil Dead. I think the second one, too, they may have filmed here, or part of it here.
I don't think they filmed this. I don't think they may have filmed a little piece of it or something. But
okay. But the first one was definitely here. And it became kind of a site where, rabid fans, they would find it and they would go take pieces of it. And the last I heard, there was just like a little bit of the chimney left, and all the rest of it's gone.
Well, the funny thing to me is they kept going. They kept running out of Cairo syrup is what you make fake blood with.
Yeah,
and they kept running. The local grocery stores were running out of Cairo syrup because they were buying it all up because they used so much blood and gore in it.
Right. Yeah, and I remember I saw a story about that, and there weren't as many tourists from other places in Morristown back then, and so here were these Michiganders with their accents coming in buying all their Cairo syrup. So, but anyway, Cabin in the Woods. Who else has a movie? TV show.
The only thing I have is that one of my recommendations for a TV show several weeks back, I had only watched 2 episodes of. I've now completed the first season, and I'm starting the second season of Bad Sisters. And I would just like to encourage that one. The first season, the bad guy is just every episode gives you one more reason why he deserves what he gets. It's very satisfying end of the first season, and you're just like, oh yeah, it's delicious.
That's always good.
So, and it's about 5 sisters. It's set in Ireland. It's filmed in Ireland. All the actors are Irish,
and all of the sisters are kind of suspects or something.
Yeah, they all have different reasons. They all have different reasons for why the dude has it coming.
Yeah.
So,
well, because our topic was drugs.
Oh yeah.
I want to recommend Drugstore Cowboy from 1989. It's Matt Dillon and Kelly Lynch star in it, and it's
Matt Dillon again.
No, Matt Dillon. I'm a big fan of Matt Dillon.
When's it from?
1989. It's directed by Gus Van Sant.
Yeah, I remember it.
And it's one of those movies where you're following a bunch of heroin addicts. Bad things happen. They have to hide a body at some point. But it's a real yarn. It's one of those things where you're in it, you understand their desperation. It's not one of those things where you're just feeling bad all the time, but you feel their anxiety that they have to do something. And what starts out fairly fun gets really dark.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a very honest movie, and you really like the characters. I think Matt Dillon is seriously underrated as an actor. He shows up in stuff. I mean, occasionally, I think he got nominated for Crash for Best Actor. I don't think he won. But he's terrific when he's got a good role. And Kelly Lynch is great in it. Everybody. William S. Burroughs has a cameo in it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Talk about somebody who was a heroin addict. And he's like this.
He's got a tail or two.
Yeah, but I mean, he's good in it.
All right.
So there you go.
All right. Once again, folks, if you know somebody or you have a problem with drugs or alcohol, please seek help, advice, someone you love, or an official public entity, and get it together. They can help you get your life together. And we will come back again with something else next week. Thank you.
You've been listening to How We Heard It with Chuck Campbell and Wayne Bledsoe, a podcast about music, movies, art, culture, whatever it is that's on their mind. How We Heard It was recorded at the Arbor Studio in Knoxville, Tennessee by me, John Baker. How We Heard It is a Cozy Planet production. If listening to this podcast has given you a burning sensation, then we recommend you sit in a hot tub until your symptoms fade away. If you'd like to reach out to Chuck or Wayne or even me, you can send an email to howweheardit@gmail.com. So thank you for listening, and come on back and we'll have another episode for you next week.